forget, my friend, the vice presidential candidate for APM, lest we forget, is my friend, was DGSSS that tried to shut down the National Assembly. And I remember another friend of mine there, Benjamin Miller, I recall him trying to jump the fence at the onslaught of his men. So let's be careful what we pray for. Having said that, he wants to be vice president under a democratic system now. The fundamental problem with Nigeria is leadership. And we're gathered here to determine what will be the appropriate leadership. If we get the leadership right, literally everything will fall into place. We need to ask ourselves, what is the fundamental essence of government? I dare say it is the optimal productivity of her citizens within a safe and orderly environment. If that is the mission statement of every government, then it leads to the next question, ethnicity. We don't hate ourselves. The issue is inadequacy. You see, when there's not enough to go around, I've got to use what I've got to get what I want. So in the face of the broad and general inadequacy in our society, I'm going to pick my tribe as an advantage over yours, or over my competitors, or my religion. So if we are able to build a country that can adequately cater for all of us, who cares if you're from the north or the south, or you're Hausa, you're Igbo, or Efik, or whatever you are? Who cares what religion you belong to? That's private to you. So until we address that, the issue of inadequacies in our society, in our country, ethnicity, religion, and all that has to do with it will come to play. In my state, Cross River, there are 29 ethnic groups, and they play each other because there's not enough to go around.
Okay.
The next thing, no.
Can this be the last?
Wait.
Can this be the last, please?
No, well?
The last, please.
Okay. Someone asked about coalition. Let me say this. We operate a democratic system, fine. But there are two types of government systems. The presidential, the parliamentary, and a hybrid sort of. The presidential works efficiently when there are two major parties, because then there's an opposition. In the parliamentary system, you can have several parties, and that which has the majority in parliament produces the prime minister. But honestly, and I agree with this question, we all have to come together to operate the presidential system, not just this run of 27, but generally going forward.
Okay.
There was some sense in the government setting up SDP, NRC. Unfortunately, usually the parties that set up the government and not the government that sets up a party. So that was the twist to that. But really, for our presidential system to work, there must be two major platforms. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I invite all the presidential candidates, please stand.